Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be learning how to do free look. If you don't know what free look is, it's basically in a first person shooter. When you hold down the Alt key, you can actually move the camera while walking in the same direction. It's a little bit hard to tell with this sweaty clip here, but see, as he's running forward right here, he's actually looking to the left and he can see that guy behind him, but the character is still moving forward, which in this case is to the right there. So you see him walking to the right here, and he's actually looking behind him, generally by holding the Alt key. So this effect is pretty easy to set up, and all we really require is that you're working on an FPS project already. If you don't have an FPS project to do this on, I've got one available for free right now on Patreon, so I have that link in the description, so I don't bore you with how to set all this up, right? Also, zero mention of me in the files. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe for your favorite non-degenerate Godot tutorial, man. So this template is pretty basic. Can walk around, can jump, and can look with the mouse. So what we want to do is make it so when we hold Alt, we can move the camera independently of the player and the direction that the player is moving. So first thing we're going to have to do is go up to the project settings and add an input map here for free look. And, or actually it's not there, so it's right here. And then we're going to click that button and then hit Alt. So Alt is going to be our free look button. That's where his secret island was, by the way, somewhere around here, beyond the ice wall. So the way the script currently works is when we're moving the mouse, it rotates the entire player. What's that, yaw? We're yawing our character. But when we look up and down, because obviously we don't want to rotate the entire character, we just rotate the head. So not the camera, we rotate the head. So the first thing we want to do here is go to that rotate.y. Like I said, this is rotating the entire character. And we're going to go input.isActionPressed free look. So if free look is being pressed, then we can rotate the head, else we rotate the entire player. So if I duplicate this and then I just put head here, now if we run that, I'm just going to hold W while we're moving, and then if I hold down Alt, you see, we're still moving in that same direction, but our camera is looking over to the left. I don't have Alt held down anymore, and that's going to be the problem. So that works okay, but we need to snap that back to reality. What we'll do is we'll go down to the physics process, and we'll add a little thing in. Actually, maybe we'll do this from just a regular process, because we're moving the camera, and you don't want the camera to move at the physics process rate, which by default is 60 times a second. We want it to move potentially 144 times a second if you've got a 144 hertz monitor. If input dot is action pressed free look, if not, so we're going to invert that by putting the exclamation mark at the front. Then what we'll do is we'll go head.rotation.y, which obviously is your yaw, equals lerp. And then we're going to take that rotation Y, and we're going to go, so from the current rotation to 0, obviously is what we're doing here, to 0, which is the second one there. And then the weight, we're just going to go delta times 10. Cool. And now if we run that, when we're walking forward, all good. When we hold down the Alt key, we can turn. And then when we let go of the Alt key, it's going to snap back into position. So obviously it's a little bit confusing because you can turn really, really far around. So we're going to need to clamp that somehow as well. So in this example here, I'm going to look at how far back angle-wise we can go. So this is past 90 degrees, because obviously 90 degrees is completely sideways, but it looks like we can look sort of over your shoulder a little bit. So let's say 110 degrees. So to clamp, we can go head.rotation degrees, and we'll work in degrees because obviously it's a lot easier. Degrees equals clamp, and then we're going to put that rotation degrees in there. Min, we're going to go negative 110, and max, we're going to go 110. Obviously make sure it's a float. Now if we run that, as we're running, we can hold down the Alt key and we can look back about that far. And then when we let go of the Alt key, we can continue to move around like that, right? So all in all, pretty good. Now if we have our player, which I've just imported here, this silly little wizard man, if we have him parented or childed to the player, I should say, and not the head, then as we run around, When we look back, we can kind of see over the shoulder, obviously if his big boof head wasn't in the way, but we can see over his shoulder because that's not part of the head rig, the camera rig, right? So keep that in mind when it comes to your guns. You really want them to be on the player in a situation like this and not on the head rig. So if you got any use out of this, please hit the subscribe and like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.